It is said that once upon a time there was a tiger that was mightily pregnant, and she was near the term of her pregnancy. She was exhausted. The unseen one inside her was pressing on the doors of life as what appeared as one was trying to become two. And this tiger mother had to eat for both of them. Now, at the time, food was scarce. And so this tiger mother found herself climbing amongst the rocky outcroppings of a mountain in search of something to eat. She barely had any energy left. She probably was even afraid. But like any determined mother, she hauled herself over some rocks and spotted below her a herd of goats foraging in a little meadow. Looking down, the tiger saw immediate nourishment for herself and the one about to be born. And at the same time, the goats looking up saw the shape of sudden death in the form of sharp teeth that can quickly separate one thing from another. In that moment, life and death hung in the balance as the great tiger prepared to leap at the terrified goats. And as the mother-to-be leapt at the herd, the goats thought of nothing but escape, and they ran off in all directions. And as fate would have it, the mother tiger died before even reaching the ground. She was undone by hunger, overcome by exhaustion, and she expired mid-leap. Not only that, but the shock of the leap induced labor. And just as the tiger mother struck the earth, the little life inside her was born. In a sense, death and life were each born in the same moment. The death of one becoming the birth of another. So it was a case of life literally growing from death. Despite the sense of impending doom, all the goats survived the scare, and eventually they all convened around the lifeless body of the tiger and the little package she had seemingly delivered to them. Now, the mother instinct is as old and as great as anything in the world. And the mothers in the herd of goats recognized the new life in its delicate and really dependent condition. And it wasn't long before they began sniffing at and nudging the strange shape laying before them. Since for goats as well as for tigers, loving consists of licking, the mother goats began to actually lick at the newborn. They say that a tiger, like other cats, will lick every part of the newborn. And if they don't, the infant's going to die. And some say that something similar is true of humans. If a part of us has not been loved and licked into life, we may never fully live. At any rate, the newborn responded to the love licking and began to stir. And soon its own instincts awakened, and it felt this pressing need to nurse on something. Having been licked into life, it wanted to nurse and suck on the sweet milk of existence. And the goat mothers did not disappoint. After some experimentation, the little tiger was actually nursing on goat's milk and following the goat mothers wherever they went. So strange to say, but the little tiger was eventually accepted by all the goats. It fed on goat's milk, and like any child in this world, the young one began to imitate those around it. So soon enough, the little tiger began to act like a goat, began to sound like a goat, and even felt like a goat. And the little one learned the language and the ways of goats and began to act like any other kid in the herd. Now, time went on as it does in the world, and one night when the moon was rising, another tiger appeared on the mountainside. It was a huge animal with a great appetite, and it had not eaten in a while. And while hunting in the moonlight, this massive tiger came over an outcropping and spotted that same herd of goats. And while looking down upon its next meal, the tiger was shocked to see a little tiger acting like a goat and participating in the activities of the herd. And at the same time, the little tiger goat looked up and found itself gazing into the eyes of a full-grown feline. And as the rest of the goats scattered in fear again, this tiger goat stood transfixed, gazing up at the apparition with a confused mixture of great fear and awe. And when the great tiger, this massive tiger, leapt from the heights above, the little tiger goat braced itself, thinking the end must have come. And then when it felt itself being clenched at the nape of the neck and held in the powerful jaws, it knew it was going to be carried off somewhere to be devoured. So it came as a great surprise when the massive tiger took the little one to the edge of a stream and held it out over the waters. And there, under the illumination of the full moon, in the reflection of the clear stream, the little one could plainly see that its own shape was more like the stunning tiger than like the goats it had come to know so well. In a sudden moment of reflection, the little one knew that it was actually a tiger. In that subtle, brief moment, self knowledge flooded through every cell of its body. Something old and knowing awakened within the young one, and it suddenly roared mightily as the transformation of a lifetime took place in that single instant, as this young tiger became entirely changed from within. The moment before, it was terrified and believed that it was a goat and that it should live and even die as a goat. And the next moment, it had become a tiger. And it began to see with the eyes of a tiger. And instantly left the goat world far behind. With some guidance, the young tiger began to manifest its nature fully. And it began to stride through the forest and prowl over the rocks, shining with its inner brightness and its unique stripes.